All right, shalom, shalom. Let me get into this lesson. But before I get into this lesson, I'm gonna get into this video. It's about 4 minutes. So you brothers and you sisters, be patient and watch the whole video. Then I'm gonna get into the lesson. All right, but you know, I was meditating on something pretty heavy. I'm like, most of these people just bugged out. You know what I'm saying? And you just look at the ways of life and the way of thinking here. You know what I'm saying? It's insane. These people functioning on this level, man. And most people are brainwashed and they don't know it, right? And this goes back, and this is a heavy video I'm about to play for you, very heavy. But the average so-called American citizen is just too dumbed down. They can barely tie their shoes, right? Right? And I'm saying that jokingly, but I ain't. That's not too far from the truth, right? What I'm saying is these people have been indoctrinated. They've been brainwashed, right? They're pretty much brain dead, right? But this was the scheme and plot of the so-called white man to set this system up the way you see it today, right? Full of folly, bullshit. I mean, madness, right? So I'm gonna get into this video, and it's a heavy video. 1 second.
Shakespearean fables, all staples in our education system. But wait a minute, have we been fooled? How come financial education doesn't come up when we're schooled? I don't want a nation of thinkers, I want a nation of workers. Those are the words of John D. Rockefeller, widely regarded as the richest American of all time. Yes, even richer than Jeff Bezos. Clearly, Rockefeller would far rather have a bunch of mindless workers to employ and manipulate than having intelligent entrepreneurs to compete against him. This mentality acted as the foundation for the current education system in America and indeed the globe, a system designed to condition students from a young age to sit down, shut up, do as they're told, and perform repetitive tasks for 8 hours per
Let me pause it real quick. You heard that? And all this is by design. All right, let me back it up a little bit. That was heavy what he said.
day. Well, and indeed the globe, a system designed to condition students from a young age to sit down, shut up, do as they're told, and perform repetitive tasks for 8 hours per day.
So for 8 hours a day, and it's no coincidence that that's the typical work schedule, hours, 8 hours a day, 9 to 5, 40-hour work week. It's like you in a hamster wheel, but the people are so stupid they don't know they're in a hamster wheel, right? That's mind blowing. So let me play some more of this.
Intelligent citizens are difficult to control. The more intelligent you are, the more likely you will know what the real issues are, and that you are being fed, pardon the pun, a bunch of BS by a bunch of, shall we say, degenerate psychopaths. As Albert Einstein said, never confuse education with intelligence. Being highly educated oftentimes means being highly educatable. This is not to say that all education is brainwashing, of course, but people who excel in school do so because they are highly trainable and therefore more susceptible to influence. Add to this the cognitive blinders that come from being labelled as smart, i.e. believing that you are too intelligent to be fooled, and it's little wonder that academia has turned into an ideological, robotic production line.
Your behaviors, you don't realize it, but you are being programmed. It was unintentional. But now you got to decide how much you're willing to give up, how much of your intellectual independence. And don't think, oh yeah, not me, I'm fucking genius, I'm at Stanford. You're probably the most likely to fucking fall for it. Because you were fucking checkboxing your whole goddamn life. No offense, guys.
The aim of the education system is not to produce a well-rounded populace, but to reduce as many individuals as possible to the same safe level of awareness, to suppress originality, to discourage critical thinking and imagination. Then there is the dumbing down of an entire generation.
You and I come from a period where hip hop had a purpose. It wasn't just a lifestyle. It wasn't, and it was a lifestyle. And it was a cultural phenomenon. But Public Enemy, KRS, all those guys. What's the health of hip hop now? Is it the music itself is healthy, but have we lost?
We've lost a lot of the attention.
People aren't mad anymore.
Yeah, well, the content has gone down.
At one time, cultural movements such as hip-hop were actually used to push positive messages to the youth, including the importance of financial independence and ownership. Now, not so much. As well as this, we have a whole generation addicted to the dopamine loops of social media, many of which are effectively state-run spying apps. Is this really appropriate for the progress of our civilization, particularly in the 21st century? In 1902, the General Education Board was created after John D. Rockefeller donated an initial $1 million, and he would later give over $180 million.
Salaki, you hear this? You hear this? It says in 1902, General Education Board created after John D. Rockefeller donated initial, I think that 1 million, and he would give 180 million in total. So that's back in 1902, right? So that denomination of what that one equivalency to that 180 million, it's astronomical, right? In today's time, right?
Dollars to fund the GEB. The GEB provided major funding for schools across America and was very influential in shaping the current education system. I close with a quote from Frederick Gates, Rockefeller's business advisor and a prominent member of the GEB. In our dream, we have limitless resources and the people yield themselves with perfect docility to our molding hand. We shall not try to make these people or any of their children into philosophers or men of learning. We shall not search for embryo great artists, painters, musicians, nor lawyers, doctors, preachers, politicians, statesmen, of whom we have an ample supply. The task we set before ourselves is very simple as well as a very beautiful one, to train these people as we find them to a perfectly ideal life, just where they are.
All right. So everything that you was taught, for the most, started when you was a child, right? Starting at the school system. That's why it's mandatory that you got to put your child in the school system, right? Mandatory, right? And why is that mandatory? So they can brainwash, indoctrinate you when you're young. Because when you get the start, when a child is young, they finish. That mean they're gonna grow up and follow this same program, 40-hour work week, 9 to 5, right? Doing the same old shit every day, right? Go to work Monday through Friday, bullshit on the weekend, right? Give me 1 second. And most people don't know this, most oblivious to what's going on, especially these monkey-minded Americans. They too busy into their folly. They too busy into the world. I often say that, but that's just the truth. They don't know they're in a goddamn hamster wheel, right? They don't know the so-called white man has planned out many things for their destruction, right? When we tell them about it, they get repulsed at what we say and how we say it because they don't want to know the truth. It says hamster wheel. Check this shit out. It says a continuous and repetitive cycle, such as a particular task, job, way of life, that's heavy. So our people been molded, right, to live a certain way, to believe certain things. So they did this in the school system. Then they brought it into the religion system. They covered all bases, right? They indoctrinate you with the television. I mean, it goes on and on. Social media, right? And social media just a way they spy on you. They can see what you're doing, right? Because these devils all into spying on the population, right? Isaiah 29:15. But we don't marvel at you devils. It says, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So that's these Illuminati, these secret societies, right? The Skull and Bones, the Freemasons, right? Which our people don't know what the F is going on for real, man. They just into this mindless, docile, oblivious state of mind when they wandering through America trying to get the bag. It says, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, for their works are in the dark. And they say who see it us and who know it us. So basically what they're saying is they think they can, no one understand what they're doing and how they've been able to orchestrate all this. But the Lord put it on our spirit to be able to uncover this stuff and bring it out to the elect of Israel that will have some kind of sense about themselves and not be stupid, right? And they think they really hiding their works from the Lord as well. Let's go here. It says at the very top, New Living Translation, it said, what sorrow awaits those who try to hide their plans from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So part of the plan, in many ways they have destroyed you, is to take over the school system and make it as a like to make people comply and be obedient. That's why you have assigned seats in the school, right? That's why they molding you to go out into the workforce, if you understand what I'm saying. It's not nothing deep that I'm saying. It said who do their evil deeds in the dark, so they plotted and schemed to take over the school system so they can indoctrinate the people, tell them what's right and what's wrong, which kind of way to live, when to buy a house, when to so-called get married, when to have kids. Everything's been orchestrated and planned, right? The Lord can't see us. They say he doesn't know what's going on. And this extends to the people, right? Let's go here. So most of the people are docile, miseducated, and misinformed, right? Because like the video was going into, right? When somebody think they got an education, they just don't really know they've been indoctrinated, right? It says docile, and most of these Americans are docile, bugged out on antidepressants, rolling up a blunt, all right? They're all over the place and they finish. It says docile, obedient, docile, tractable, all right? Amendable means submission to the will of another. So what our people don't understand, that this society, before you was born, this society was already put together, that's been labeled the matrix, all right, for you to come in and not know what's going on, keep you lost, miseducate you, tell you nothing but lies, and those lies become our people truth if you hear a lie so much, right? But the Lord is balanced. He put the truth out here for the people that got the spirit on them to understand this. All right, it's been labeled the elect of Israel. John 8:32, and this scripture is going into something else, but it applies. And you should know the truth, and the truth shall make you free, right? So having the truth is going to free you from Christianity. It's going to free you from the madness of this world, the spells and the enchantments, the different things, the sayings and the ways of life of this place. It says free. It says not under the control or in the power of another. That's heavy. That's heavy. Most of our people are in mental slavery. What is that? It says mental slavery. It says mental slavery is a state of mind where discerning between liberation and enslavement is twisted. So most of our people are in a twisted mind state and not knowing the truth, don't know what's going on, don't know up from down, but think they do know up from down. It says where one becomes trapped by misinformation. That's heavy. All right, this is man of sin. Esau Edom has miseducated and misguided our people to live a destructive life, to call on sweet Jesus, right? Which is an idol. It says this is a slavery at the very top that the individual inflicts upon himself. It says history abounds with individuals who have enjoyed physical freedom and who have at the same time inflicted mental and spiritual freedom upon themselves. Deep down in their souls and minds, they were slaves. Check this out. It says, notice the mental slavery of the Negro. That's all through the spirit, right? So our people still had these chains in their mind that bound them to these different things of the world, right? Let's go here. Salakia. I think I'm gonna run out of time. But you saw these devils playing to put everybody in this hamster wheel, right? It's a never ending cycle till you die, right? To keep you lost, to keep you confused, to keep you misinformed, to keep you distracted. That's another big one. This world is very distracted, and you have to, the spirit is putting on my spirit to tell you this. Stop getting distracted. Focus, right, on the truth, right? But that's why these people that think they got an education, they don't know what the hell is going on. They just got indoctrinated, right? And they still in mental slavery because everything that you learned came from the so-called white man system, which means coined the matrix. Call Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakat, Wadash. Shalom.